And you are live.
We're live.
You are live.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Jefferson County Health Department Board of Trustees special meeting on December 6th, 2023 at 3:05 p.m. Call this meeting in order. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Pig,
Here.
Mr. Deal,
Here.
Ms. Stidham,
Here.
Dr. Henry,
Here.
Ms. Davis.
Here.
Quorum has been established. First on the order is approval of the agenda. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
A second. Having a first and a second, is there any discussion on the motion? Not hearing any, all in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Second part is welcome of guests. We have representatives from the First State Community Bank. Would you gentlemen like to introduce yourselves, please, real quick?
Kevin Bourne, First State Community Bank.
Rick Francis, First State Community Bank.
I'm Sean Flynn with Gilmore and Bell.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. There's no old business, so the first thing and the only thing on our business is a resolution authorizing the Jefferson County Health Center to enter into a lease purchase transaction to finance certain capital improvements and authorizing the execution of certain documents and actions in connection therewith, including authorization the vice chair to execute same in the, it should be chair, shouldn't it? Authorizing the chair to execute the same in the secretary and treasurer stead. Oh, I'm seeing what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I'll read that last part again, including authorizing the vice chair to execute the same in the secretary treasurer stead, because she's not here at this point. So, okay. Do I have a motion, or do I have a motion to, do I have a motion to have that resolution?
Make motion on the resolution.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right. Having first and second, I guess, is there anybody who wishes to address this before any of the trustees ask questions?
No.
Everybody's received the documents, I presume. All right, is there any questions from any of the trustees?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Ms. Davis.
I thought we were entering into an agreement on a loan and the terms of hiring the loan company. Now I see mention of a lease, and I guess, we need to understand what that's all about.
You gentlemen want to answer that? Because I thought.
Before we vote.
Go ahead.
So my name is Sean Flynn. I'm with the law firm Gilmore and Bell, and I'm here representing the health center on this transaction. And so the health centers, much like all other governmental entities in the state of Missouri, do not have the authority to go do bank loans like you and I do when we want to finance a car or a home. You have very limited powers, especially when it comes to borrowing. And so the way that health centers borrow for their capital projects is through a lease financing, because you have the authority to enter into leases. And so because you have that authority, like other governmental entities in the state of Missouri, lease financings are very common among governmental entities. And that's why you're approving a lease transaction as opposed to a traditional loan, which you or I would sign when we go to a bank.
That's interesting. When do we no longer have a lease with you, and when would we be just literally borrowing, or would we?
So the terms of the lease would be identical to if you could enter a loan, the terms of the loan. So there is an interest rate that is part of the lease documents, and then the lease is in place for, I believe, 20 years. And so at the end of 20 years, after all the lease payments have been made, which are equal to principal and interest, then the lease documents terminate and the lease transaction goes away.
So when it's either refinanced or paid in full, then we just get free and clear deed to the property without a
That is
lien.
correct. That is correct. So, all right, go ahead.
Will there be a lien filed
Yes,
against?
you will see in the resolutions being approved, there's actually 2 leases. So this is what's known as a lease-back structure. So the health center currently owns the property. You will enter into a base lease with First State Community Bank. You lease them the property. First State Community Bank then leases it back to you under a lease purchase agreement. That's the second lease. The rental payments under the lease purchase agreement is equivalent to the principal and interest on the loan.
This is just the way it has to be set up to be legally correct for a tax entity such as we are.
That is correct. And so the rental payments under the lease purchase agreement are subject to annual appropriation. And so you will have to annually appropriate the rental payments under the lease each year.
That's why we had in the budget for this year.
Thank you for that. We appreciate it.
Is there any further questions? Not hearing any, I will call this motion to vote, please. Roll call.
Mr. Pig,
Yes.
Mr. Deal,
Yes.
Ms. Stidham,
Yes.
Dr. Henry,
Yes.
Ms. Davis.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 5-0. And that concludes our business here. Can I have a motion for an adjournment, please?
So moved.
Second.
Having a first and second, is there any discussion on the motion? Not hearing any, all in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any against? Motion carries.